Okay, we can begin now. So welcome to session 8 of the Logistem Linguistics Club. First, I'm just going to do another quick review of the Linguistics Olympiad. So if you are not familiar with what NACLO is, it's the North American Computational Linguistics Open Competition. And it determines which students get to participate in the IOL, which is basically the international version. So this club is kind of just to prepare you for NACLO and IOL. And so other ways you can prepare are you can take a foreign language class. So at your school, if they offer one, you can take it just so you can get familiar with how to differentiate our language, which is English, from outside languages like French or Spanish, depending on what they offer at your school. Something else you can do is you can purchase linguistics textbooks. So if you go on the NACLA website, they have some reading options that you can take a look at and you can buy them if they interest you. So another thing you can do is you can look through the 2022 handbook, which basically gives you some tips and then some general information on the test. And finally, the best way to prepare is by doing practice problems. So here's the link, or you could just go on the website and they'll have an option for practice. Another thing you can do is also watch the Logistem Linguistics Olympiad guide, which I did myself, and it's available on our YouTube channel. So you could just go on Logistem for YouTube and find it there. So some important dates: registration for the open contest opened on September 26th, but I checked and I believe it closes sometime in January, like mid-January. So you still have lots of time to register for it whenever you want. Then NACLO 2022 will be held on January 27th. And then the next round after the open one, which is called the invitational round, is on March 17th, 2022. So these are just some dates to keep in mind. And you can just mark them down wherever. So let's go to our first problem called Say It in Abma. I don't know if I pronounced that right. So yeah, it's like that. So it's a language that's spoken in parts of the South Pacific island nation of Vanuatu, and it's spoken by around 8,000 people. So it's very unlikely that you'll know what any of this means. So what it gives you some sentences in this language, and then it'll give you the English translations. And then here are some other words that aren't given in sentence format. So what you have to do is you have to translate the following sentences here into the language, given these sentences here. So what I'm going to do is I'll copy the link for this problem in the chat, and then I'll put you guys in breakout rooms so you can work on it with each other if you need help. So there's the link. Just click on it right now so you have it on your computer, and then I'll put you guys in breakout rooms. Okay, so I'm just gonna open these rooms. And when you're in the rooms, I'll give you guys around 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes to the problems, and then I'll close it and we can go over the solution. Okay, I think everyone's back in the main room now, so we can start. So the first key to doing a problem like this is kind of just to figure out the translations of each word and keep track of it so that you don't really get confused later on when you're trying to translate the rest. So what you basically do first is you look for the common words in each sentence. So for example, in these three, like these three, they all have the child and they all have this word in common. So you can pretty much assume that that's what it means, like that. So another thing is in these sentences, the word water appears. So you can assume that the thing they have in common is what water is, which gives you this. Yeah. Another thing that you can do is you basically just go through all the sentences like this. So runs isn't all of these. And the word they have in common is this. Then drinks is also like the variation of the word drink is in here. So that's what this one means. I'm going to move these so it's more organized. So here is in this one. Wait, okay, not here then. So then carries is here. So we can assume that there's actually no carry, so we can't do that one either. So then what we do is we start comparing other words. So we have down is here, down is also here. So then this word would mean down. Or just like going down in general. So that will also help us. Then if that is down, then I believe that going up is this one because it's also at the end and it's like a directional word. So this one would be going up. Okay, that means that I kind of drew the circle too big, but the word next to it, so this one would probably mean axe. And then what other words can we see? Okay, so for here, for keeps, another thing they have in common is these two. So I can also mark that down. And basically you just keep doing this until you notice a pattern. So what you can notice here is that when it starts with he, there's no word for he. So you just like do the words other than that. But when it's like the child, the word for child is this word right here. And so on. And then this one, his name is right here. So that's just an example. So when it has he, you don't have to do like another translation. And then it gives you the rest of the words here. So I'm not going to clear this yet. Okay. Actually, I will then. And then I'll just give you the answers for these. So basically, for this type of problem, you'll create like a dictionary pretty much. And then you just fill in the blanks and figure out like grammar stuff in between. So for the teacher carries the water down, we're given the word for teacher on the thing over there. So then I can just write that in. Then we have carries already, and you basically figure out the variation of carry based on the word here. So you figure that out, and then it's the water and then down like that. So that's for this one. Then for child, we know it's this word. And then keeps, we got it from before. And if you continued the pattern of like figuring out the common translations, then you can also get eating. Then we know the guy's name. We don't have to like make another translation. And because we already know the word for eats, it's like that. And then tarot, you basically just do what I said before and you figure it out from that. So that's for these three. You can check what the answer you have. And then I'll go to the next four. Okay, so for the next four, from the child crawls here, we have the child. Then we can get crawls. And then here is this. The teacher, we still have that one again. Like that. And then walks is this word. And then uphill is basically just saying you're walking up. Downhill is saying you're walking down. So it's like that. Then the palm tree, I think they give this one to you. Yeah, so they give you palm tree. And again, you're just gonna write it as it is. And then it keeps, we have it again. And then growing is this. And then upwards is this, because we got that from before. Then for he goes up, you're basically just saying going up, which is like that. Wait, did I mix these up? Hold on. Down is, okay, wait, so down is, I think I wrote these wrong. Okay, so down is this one, and then up is this one. So I mixed those up, but you kind of get the point. You just insert them as they go. And that's pretty much how you do it. So we're gonna practice another one of these problems. It's pretty much a similar idea. So this is your answer key. So you're given these words in another language, and you'll be given the English translations. And what you're doing is you're translating these. So I want you guys to do just the first part. So A, B, C, D, E, F. And then, yeah, I'll copy paste the problem again. Okay, so here's the problem. Then I'll put you guys in breakout rooms again. This time I'll give you like 10 minutes instead. And just see if, you don't have to complete it all, just see how much you can do in the 10 minutes. Okay, so then I'll rejoin and copy paste the link again in case you didn't get it. I think almost everyone's back. Okay, yeah, everyone's back. So I'm just gonna quickly go over this problem, and then that's pretty much it for this. Okay, so first, something I wanted to point out was you have the man here, and then you have the men here. So the word that they represent, this one is MTU and this one's WATU. So the difference between these is one is singular, one's plural. So what we can deduce is that based on like the singularity or the plurality, you can determine what there's like a prefix. So this would be the base for man. TU is MAN. So if we applied that logic, we can find other stuff. So for example, when you have an adjective in front, what you might assume at first is that it goes in order. So good children would correlate, and this one's good, this one's children. But if we look at another case, hold on. If we look at another case here, the small umbrellas and the large umbrella, we can see that umbrella went first. So in this case, children correlates to this one. So if we look for another word with children, maybe, is there the child? Okay, so here we have the child, and it's MTOTO. This one's WTOTO. So this one means child. Okay, so another thing we can find is we do islands. So I'll just go down the list of all the translations here. So this one is island. AZI is potato. This one is king. This one is bag. This one is spoon. And this one is umbrella. So you can deduce this just by going down the list and comparing the singular and the plural. So that's how you do this. And basically the bases that we find are M, WA, KI, and I think that's it, and then VI. So those are the ones that we have. Okay, now we want to get the translations for all of the adjectives. So we have BAYA is bad. Also, when you have the adjectives, they also follow the same thing. So let me see. The bad children, the BAYA is also has a prefix of WA, so they all follow the same thing. Then let's go on. ZURI is good. KUBWA is large. REFU is long. And then DOGO is small, like that. And then finally, we want the verbs. So NA is half. And then NATOSHA is like enough of something. So for example, like is enough right here. That's just an example. Okay, so once we have all those, we can figure out the translations for all of these. So I'll just leave this up for a second. If you want to write this down, you can. And then I'll just clear this and say what it is. It's pretty easy to translate it after, since you have like all your words, your adjectives, and you can figure out what the prefixes are based on the if it's plural or singular. So for this one, it's WATOTO, WADOGO, WANA, and then VIJIKO, and then VICURI. So it's like that. For this one, it's like this. Yep. So like that. Then for the next one, it's like this. Also, if I spell something wrong, it's an accident, but just like make sure when you're actually doing the test to check your spelling, because that could affect if you get the problem right or not. Because sometimes you might miss something because you wouldn't know since it's in a foreign language. So yeah, just check. So it's like this. Also, I believe on the typical test, you would have to fill these out, like grid them in these boxes. So you just have to leave a space for the box when you're actually doing it. And then finally, this is the last one. Like that. So that's all 6. If you didn't get the last 2, you can watch the recording after this is posted on YouTube and just you can watch it there. But that's pretty much it for this problem. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, if not, the physics club, no wait, yeah, I think it's the physics club. It starts in 4 minutes. So if you're interested in going to that, just check it out. I think the Zoom link is on our website. And that pretty much wraps up week 8 for the club. If you want to revisit the problems, you can either just go to the link that I sent in chat, or you can watch the recording once it goes live on our YouTube. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for coming to this week's thing, and I hope you have a good rest of your week. So bye, everyone.